Hey, what's going on, everybody? Timothy here with Manrocks. We're going to be doing another Theros Beyond Death ranked draft. This is best of three. This set, I think, is super enjoyable. It's really deep. There's a lot of different synergies going on and a lot of different ways you can construct decks. You can splash in three-color decks. There are sweet gold payoffs, graveyard synergies, enchantment strategies, and everything kind of just mixes together into what so far has been a really awesome set. And from what I'm noticing, what I'm playing on Arena, there isn't that like Eldraine mill deck, right? The decks seem pretty balanced, right? There are obviously some cards and colors that are better than others, but it seems like anything you play has legs as long as you build it right. It's a little bit awkward that graveyards and enchantments are typically the type of cards that you would sideboard against, right? You would wait to see what your opponent has, but there's such a big factor or characteristic of this set that best of one is a little awkward. You have to decide how much enchantment removal and graveyard hate you want in your main deck or when you're going to draft it. So I do err on the side of trying to take a piece or two of each of those. Enchantment removal, especially, I like to play one or two of in my main deck. And then graveyard hate. Most of the graveyard hate in this set is also just like functional without hating on graveyards. Things like the Soul Guide Lantern, Cling to Dust, Scavenging Harpy. These are all cards that you can play and hedge against graveyard stuff without being all in, right? They're not like Tormod's Crypts or anything like that running around. Ley lines, nothing along those lines, right? So most of your graveyard hate you can sneak in there. Most of your enchantment hate you can sneak in there. Plummets, probably not sneaking plummets in, but we're going to do a best of one draft. So up to 3 wins. Up to 3 losses or 7 wins, whichever comes first. We played a pretty sweet deck last time. I don't remember if it was my double Gray Merchant deck or if it was the single Gray Merchant deck, but I had a Nightmare Shepherd and I misclicked and it cost me a game. And I think we bottomed out at 3-3, which I thought the deck could do a little bit better, especially since we technically almost won a game that we misclicked on and lost. This time, no misclicks, promise. And let's go ahead and jump into this draft. Actually, before we jump into this draft, do me a favor, subscribe below if you like this content, or leave a comment suggesting any sort of feedback towards the channel, towards the drafts, etc., etc. Any kind of feedback you have, I'd be happy to hear it. Find us on Twitter at MTG_Manarocks. And with housekeeping out of the way, now we'll go ahead and jump into our draft. Starting out with a sweet card, Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. It's not the blue-green Titan, but we'll take one of them. It's a really sweet card. So for 2 mana, you basically make your opponent discard a card, and if they discard a land, or if they discard nothing at all, they take 3 damage, right? If they discard an actual spell, instant, sorcery, artifact, enchantment, blah, 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 then they don't take anything, but they have to discard a real card, right? So Kroxa is a nice little discard spell that punishes them for discarding lands. But by itself, you wouldn't play that, right? 2 mana, make your opponent discard a card and take 3, especially when your opponent decides the card they discard. That's not something you're interested in. What you are interested in is the fact that this has Escape, exile 5 other cards from your graveyard, red, black. So 4 mana, 6/6 from the graveyard, exile 5 other cards, and then you get the ETB again, so your opponent has to discard once again, and you get that trigger whenever Kroxa attacks. So I've played with this card once in a 2-headed giant event where it's obviously even better, and I think I'm going to try it out here in best of one. It is worth noting that I think all 3 of these uncommons are great. Shimmerwing Chimera can single-handedly win games if you get enchantments with good enter the battlefield effects like the Omens. Like, just imagine this with one of the weaker omens, like the white one. That's just every single turn you can recast the white omen, gain 2 life, make 2 1/1s. Your opponent's just not going to beat that. It is a little bit vulnerable, though, so it seems like a fair card. Alseid of Life's Bounty. This is the one that gives enchantments or creatures protection from a color of your choice, which I like quite a bit, and it's also just a cheap enchantment to trigger constellation stuff. I haven't seen anyone go off with Hateful Eidolon, but I imagine this is very similar to like Edgewall Innkeeper, where if you start with it, you can just draft a bunch of enchantment removal. The problem with that, of course, is that a lot of the enchantment removal that actually hits the graveyard, things like Dreadful Apathy, Mire's Grasp, they're more first pickable cards. Whereas a lot of the enchantments that just kind of sit on board never actually end up going to the graveyard. So you do need specific enchantments to make Hateful Idol on good, but I have a sneaking suspicion this card is pretty good. I just haven't really seen it in action. And there's nothing really outside of the uncommons and the rare worth talking about. I love Omen of the Hunt, and Irosa's Blessing is obviously good. But we'll take Kroxa, and we're not going to force ourselves into red-black, but we'll see what's available here. This pack has a lot less to talk about. Eutropia is the best card in the pack by a mile. It's in complete opposite color combination here. If we wanted to stick on color, we have Grim Physician and then a bunch of clunkers. Like I said, Scavenging Harpy's fine. I think I'm going to hedge here. Kroxa is sweet, but I'm going to take the Eutropia because this pack sucks. Phalanx Tactics is a card I haven't seen quite be a huge blowout yet, but this card has the potential to be really strong. I haven't seen the heroic deck really come together yet. Red-white is just beat down. I haven't really seen like multiple heroic creatures on board at the same time. Green cards are all kind of filler here. Hunt Master, Herrick's Tower Scout, these are filler cards, as with basically this entire pack. If we were the complete beatdown and we knew it, I might even take like Flummox Cyclops here. Could see taking Hero and just like trying to force that strategy. There's also Vexen Gold, which is a pretty safe pick, but I'm just going to start with another gold card here and we'll see what ends up coming our way. Portent does fit into red-black decks, but you need the sack outlets first before you can really go taking a Portent. There's an Omen of the Hunt, which is very nice with Eutropia. I love Stern Dismissal in this set. Just having the 1-mana answer for somebody who's trying to stick, like, I don't know, a really powerful enchantment or using a combat trick or something. It's just super powerful, and it does lose a little bit of value from, like, a regular unsummon, not being able to bounce your own creature, but I found this card to be probably one of the easiest ways to interact with creatures in the format. There's also Favorite of Iroas here. I'm tempted to just take Omen, because it's always nice to have these. Sea God Scorn, I would want to settle in my deck a little bit more. Hydra's Growth could also be powerful with Eutropia, but I still think this card might be a trap until I see it actually kill me, and I've seen multiple people cast it. I think I'm going to stay away from it. So I'll take Omen. Omen's fine. I've also been playing like 4 and 5 color decks a lot, which maybe is not what you want to be doing in Best of 1, but it's something I do end up doing a lot. Here we have a Vexen Goal, we have a Threnody Singer, and we have another Omen of the Hunt. Can't take Infinite Omens, even though my decks usually do want a bunch of these. I almost always end up in 3 colors or splashing something. And look, I'm not afraid to splash a Kroxa. You can't tell me what to do. Not going to go that route now. I think I'm just going to take Threnody Singer. This card has underperformed, but it's still fine, right? I think it's better than like a Vexen Goal on average. And not bad to pick up counters with Eutropia. Alright, Furious Rise is great. It always comes late in these drafts too. The white cards are pretty solid. Revoke Existence is better than Omen of the Suns, but I do like Omen more than most people from what it seems. There is an Underworld Charger, and basically this entire pack is playable. Furious Rise seems like the least likely card that's actually going to make our deck. Underworld Charger, I actually don't love this card in Best of 1 because people are playing really aggressive decks, and Underworld Charger gets really bad if your opponent's beating you down and you play a creature that can't block. Same with Underworld Ragehound. Unless you are the beatdown, this card having to attack every turn can be a liability. It's not always a liability, but these cards are sometimes liabilities, and that makes me kind of lean away from it. We could take Siona here and then try to prioritize some mana fixin'. I guess we should kind of like read into what the bots are telling us here. There is basically a bunch of green missing from the pack, which doesn't bode well for like the Eutropia line. There's a lot of red and black though, which bodes well for the Kroxa line. Maybe I want to take my Ragehound or take a Furious Rise and kind of build around that. It's still pretty early in the pack. This is pick 5. We have 2 different directions we could go. The pack is telling me to draft red-black. My pool so far is telling me to draft blue-green. So I don't think I want Siona here and then go into completely into the 5th color. Maybe I take Ragehound. Still early enough in the draft. We could turn into an aggressive deck. I do love me a Furious Rise, though. Sure, I'll take Ragehound. I don't love red. Maybe that's a bad idea. Alright, what do we have here? So yeah, notice green and blue, basically completely gone. Inspire All is not a card as far as I'm concerned. We do have a lot of red and black, even though the red quality here, pretty weak, I would say. Venomous Hierophant's kind of cool with Kroxa, so that might be my pick. This is also just a good middle ground creature for basically any black deck that might have ways to care about the graveyard. You'll notice so far we have 2 creatures with escape. Same with Funeral Rites, although I think I'd rather hedge and take the creature here over the spell first, because I have noticed I've been drafting a lot of decks that are light on creatures. So, yeah, Venomous Hierophant seems good. Another Underworld Ragehound. If I pick up Ragehounds, I do want just tons of removal to clear my opponent's blockers out of the way. Funeral Rites is sweet. Grim Physician's fine. But the packs are telling me to draft red, so I'm going to draft red. Alright, so here, this is not Underworld Dreams deck. We do not have the Gray Merchants for that. Looks like red-black is where I'm supposed to be. Which is not bad, because I do like the Kroxa. Arena Trickster's pretty bad, even in a deck that's full of instants. This card's not great. There's Harpy, there's Hero of the Games. I think Harpy's just going to be better than Hero. Although, with the Ragehounds, this deck is incentivized to pick up targeted spells so that the Ragehounds can get through. That being said, this card sucks, and Harpy does give me that incidental graveyard hate. This is a pretty easy Grim Physician. Nyxborn Brew could make a deck like this if we were super aggro. Bronze Sword, unfortunately, not the combo I'm looking for with the Ragehounds, but I'll take the Grim Physician. Followed by, interesting, do we want another Physician or another Harpy? Physicians are pretty bad if our opponent ends up just beating us with flyers. I think I'm just going to take a Harpy. Portent of Betrayal could be good. Probably not going to play it unless we end up with the right combination of cards, but it's worth keeping an eye out for. Triumph of Anax, I have found this card to be okay, but the problem is your opponent sees the fight coming from a mile away, and if we're on the draw, this card is just so bad. Thrill of Possibility could also work here. This is a lot better to have in best of 1 than best of 3, because it lets you play just slightly worse cards. It also fills up your graveyard. By itself, this puts 2 cards in the graveyard at no card economy cost, right? Aspect of Lamprey, not very good on any of our creatures. So I think I am actually going to take the Thrill here, and Temple Thief's a fine filler creature. I could see playing a Wrap in Flames to try and push through. All right, moving into pack 2. Labyrinth of Scophos is fine. It's not really what an aggressive deck wants. Entrancing Liar is pretty good. It's a nice little mana sink that gets blockers out of the way. There is a Final Death, though, which probably has to be the pick. Final Death is pretty good. Labyrinth is just okay, though. Like, this is looking to be a pretty aggressive deck. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time to be sitting here casting Labyrinth. Interesting question whether Entrancing Liar is better than Final Death, and I don't think it is. There's also Scophos War Leader here, which is fine, but Final Death just kills anything. So that's probably the pick. Couple cards to talk about here. Dream Stalker Manticore works a lot better if you have cards to cast on your opponent's turn, which right now we have 1, but it is a 3-mana 4/2, which isn't the worst place to be. There's also Scophos and wait, man, we passed the Maze Warden into the Maze. The Maze isn't going to wheel, right? I don't see any reason the Maze would wheel here. It is a pretty decent card. Soul Guide Lantern, I need a lot less when I have double Scavenging Harpy. I like Catoblepus, although not really a black deck here. Or, I mean, we're a black deck, but we're not really, like, mono-black. I think it's one of these uncommons. They both kind of beat down. I'm tempted to say take the 4/2, and again, we're just looking for removal to push through. Might wheel something out of that pack. There were a lot of playables for us. Oh, there we go. Anax is sweet. Anax is by itself, with nothing else on board, a 3-mana 2/3. Sometimes this card is a 3-mana 6/3 or 7/3. And when your creatures die, including this one, they turn into other attackers. They can't block, but whatever. Gray Merchant deck going around. Stampede Rider, Filler, Irreverent Revelers is the type of card that you will basically never see me put in a deck. It's just like, I can't imagine that you can't find a 3-drop that's better than this if you want either of these effects. And it's not even a good sideboard card unless your opponent has, like, Shadow Spear. But Anax, easy pick. Here we have a Mire's Grasp, which is very nice. Mogus's Favor is fine. I also kind of like Minion's Return, but I've got a decent number of playables already that I'm probably not going to end up playing Mogus's Return. And then Warden of the Chain's also nice, although it doesn't really fit in our deck. Mire's Grasp is sweet, though. Ooh, Elspeth's Nightmare has been an overperformer for me. You can almost always kill a creature with it. If you have this on turn 3, you almost always get to duress your opponent. You might not get their best card, because once Chapter 2 comes around, your opponent's probably cast their best card. And then exiling your opponent's graveyard's also pretty good. I wish this card did something else other than what it did, or other than what it does, but it doesn't. And then Sea Ordain is also pretty sweet, but Elspeth's Nightmare is a nice one. Unfortunately, we're just not finding a lot of removal here. We do have 2 good black removal spells with Mire's Grasp and Final Death. Aspect of Manticore is the type of card that pushes in creatures pretty nicely. And Aspect of Lamprey is still not really a card we want here. Okay. There's another Aspect of Manticore. Not really actually what I'm looking for. We could curve out with a Rage Scarred Berserker. This card has just done its job fairly well of being a good curve topper that gives you a good attack. There's also the Lampad of Death's Vigil, which is a nice way to kind of mop up a board, right? It's actually pretty sweet with Annex. I could see you doing a lot of damage with this card. I think I can pick up basically either of these at any point. The question is, do I want this one more right now, or do I want the Rage Scarred Berserker? Like, if I knew I wasn't going to get another shot at either of them, which one would I want more? I'm tempted to say I want the Lampad more. Right now, I don't have a super expensive deck. There's a good chance I'm not playing Portent, although Lampad does make Portent better. I don't really have other ways to sacrifice creatures right now, so Portent's looking a little bit weak. I kind of like Wrap in Flames. I think I'm actually going to take the Lampad here. Maybe that's wrong. Another Triumph of Annex. Ooh, Omen of the Dead's a card that I love. Final Flare would probably be playable here as well. Not the best combo with Portent since that's 7 mana, but I always like having one of these Omens. And what do we want here? Probably the Curve 3-drop. Scophos War Leader is fine. Like, just fine, right? This is, I think, worse than the 5/4. Just going to take Curve Topper. I'm sorry, not the Curve Topper, the Curve Filler. I don't really want a second copy of either of these. Soul Guide Lantern's not going to make the main board this point. So, Portent, I suppose. Alright, Soul Reaper's decent. Do have enough sacrifice effects to probably actually play one Portent here. Arena Trickster is not making my deck, but neither is Thaumaturge. Alright, we're not playing 3 Portents. We're probably not playing 2, and I'm still skeptical whether we even want the first one. Hello. Alright, we got another good pack here for us. Basically, our pick of 2 removal spells. Fateful End does go to face, so there is some consideration for this. But Erebos' Intervention, I think, is just going to be better at getting good creatures out of the way. You almost never exile cards from your opponent's library or from their graveyard, but you can use it as a removal spell. It sucks. I would like to have both of these. Maybe my deck even wants something like Escape Velocity here, but the rest of this pack, unfortunately, we're not going to wheel anything. Could consider this if it comes back around. It's kind of a doo-doo pack altogether. Outside of this, and this, I guess there's a Revoke Existence. I'm not in love with Witness of Tomorrows. I'm going to go and take the rare here. It's just a little bit more flexible. All right, here's an Iroas' Blessing, which is very nice. Exactly what we're looking for. Removal also pumps our creatures. Gives us something to target with the hero. Not too bad altogether. Dreadful Apathy and Hero of the Nyxborn in this pack. Maybe 4/3 something we'd be interested in, but who knows. Infuriate could be a card that I see wanting here. There's also another Lampad, and that's basically it for us. I think Infuriate does look like a card that this deck wants. And we're going to lower our curve a little bit here. Aspect of Manticore, not great. This is what I'm talking about when I say I don't love red. Like, we have our pick of 4 red commons, and none of them are super exciting. But I'm going to grab just the Giant Growth effect. There we go. Mire's Grasp over Underworld Rager number 2, Ragehound, or Hero of the Revels, which I think is a card my deck would want. That's a curve topper that I don't mind. I'm going to take Mire's Grasp, though. And there we go. I'll take another Ragehound. Yeah, my deck probably just wants Ragehound more than any of these other cards. I don't really want a second Omen. Mogis' Favor. I like this card a lot better when you can stick it on your own creatures for value, and unfortunately it kills a lot of my best 2-drops, so I'm not super in love with it. Nyxborn Brute. There's some consideration there. Like, right now, my creatures curve out at 4. This is with 24 playables. Might not play Thrill of Possibility. Might cut some of these 3-drops. But I'm going to take Ragehound here. Have another solid 2-drop. Followed by nothing. We're not playing Trickster or another Harpy. Probably going to cut one of the Harpies. Don't need Unknown Shores or the Fix in here, so I guess I just take an uncommon for the Vault out of this pack. 2 more shots at cards we haven't seen yet. Could take Funeral Rites, but I think the escape cards have my card advantage covered. That being said, I'm not going to play probably the second copy of any of these cards, so I'll hedge on a Funeral Rites. And then our last possible pick, Skullfos War Leader's okay. See if we wheel anything here. There is the Escape Velocity. There's a Nyxborn Brute. Another Wrap in Flames. Basically, we have 2 of every card we could possibly want. Another Nyxborn Brute. And there we go. Red-black with some escape stuff. Kind of the beatdown, a little bit. I guess I'll go through and just do initial cuts of things we don't really want to play. Do I want... Yeah, Nyx Brute's just so bad against enchantment removal. There's no way I'm playing 2 Wrap in Flames, even though, like I said, the first Wrap in Flames could be good here. 1 Harpy, can ditch it. Do I want Funeral Rites? It's not bad. I don't have a lot of other actual just, like, straight-up card draw, but also my curve is very heavy on 3s, it looks like. I do have a decent number of 2s, though. Would I rather have Funeral Rites or Thrill of Possibility? Probably just the Rites. Do I need Escape Velocity? Nah. I think I'd rather save my graveyard for my creatures here. I have Kroxa as well, of course. Grim Physician, not amazing here. How many ways do I have to target the hero? Wrap in Flames targets it. We're not Erebos as an intervention in it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to target hero. Does that make it on average better than some other 3-drop? Am I using Soul Reaper here? Soul Reaper is good with Anax. And we do have to cut 3 more. I think Grim Physician's probably going to go here. It's not exactly what the deck wants to be doing. I do want to be beaten down. Okay, let's make a decision here on Funeral Rites versus Thrill. They both put 2 cards in my graveyard. This one lets me get rid of bad cards in my hand. This one just straight up nets me a card at the expense of some life, and filling up my graveyard is actively good. I think the Thrill is probably worse. And then we need to pitch 1 more card here. With 2 5-drops in my deck, could I be a 16-land deck? But I have a bunch of 3s and a couple 4s. Do I need a Wrap in Flames? If I'm on the draw, Wrap in Flames is pretty poor. If I'm on the play, it could be a game plan. Like, we don't have a ton of ways to push through. We ended up with decent removal. 2 Mire's Grasps, Final Death, Irosa's Blessing, and Erebos' Intervention. Not like the cheapest, but we do have the double Mire's Grasp, which is pretty cheap. I'm leaning towards getting rid of Wrap in Flames here. And just trying to win by putting creatures on board and attacking my opponent. How's that sound to y'all? Lampad? Is this a Lampad deck? Lampad can just mop up if you can deal a bunch of damage to your opponent, though, so I kind of like it. Alright, let's ditch Wrap, and then I guess the question is, do we want to put a card back in here and go down to 16 lands? With 2 5-drops and 2 4-drops? I don't think so, but I also don't want to flood out with this sort of deck. This deck needs to draw like 5 lands, and then that's it. I could see ditching a land for a Thrill of Possibility and just giving me that little edge there. I think I'm going to do that. Alright, I think we got a sweet little deck here. It's not really focused. It's not like the red-black sacrifice deck, which is the theme of red-black here, but it is a little beat-downy. We've got decent creatures and a lot of curve filler and stuff like that, but we also ended up with decent removal, so we're hoping to just put a bunch of creatures on board, get our opponent's creatures out of the way, and beat our opponent down. And I think that's going to be our game plan. No, like, super bombs or anything. Kroxa, I don't quite put in, like, the top category, because there are decent ways to deal with it. Like, if you just mill over this, or you cast it for 2 and your opponent exiles it out of your graveyard with like a Harpy, then that can't be your whole game plan, like something like a Dream Trawler or Kiora Best the Sea God or something. But it's still pretty sweet. I think we're going to try it out. So there you go. Red-black beatdown. We'll see how we do in best of 1 matches. Hopefully we win all our draws. Or what? Hopefully we win all of our die rolls is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know how you would have drafted these packs. And I will see you all in match number 1. All right, we're here for match number 1. We've got a 4-2 on turn 3. None of our 2-drops. We're on the play. I think I just keep this and hope that my 4-2 survives and I can just beat them with these. Hey, look, Manticore into Aspect of Manticore. Isn't that crazy? All right, drawing a... Well, I mean, drawing that's fine. It gives me something to do with my 4th mana. I was going to say, though, drawing my... one of my 3-1s would have been pretty sweet there. Let's go Dream, Stalker, Manticore, and hope they don't have a Perforos's whatchamacallits. And there it is. Omen of the Forge. Perforos's Forge. Whatever it's called. Alright, well there goes my game plan. Guess Hierophant is fine. Ooh, could play Annex. Think I'm still just going to use my mana wisely here. Could get countered. And mill over something decent. No escape cards in the graveyard. Opponent's going to go ahead and just scry with their Omen, it looks like. Sure. Well, 3/3 Death Touch on board. That's pretty decent with Aspect. I would like to draw at least another Mountain so that I can go Annex and then maybe protect it a little with Infuriate. Sure, Stinging Lionfish is fine. Alright, Underworld Ragehound. Also okay. Let's go ahead and go to combat. If our opponent wants to cast a spell, they can tap down our Hierophant. Okay, sure. Thrill possibility. Fine by me. And I'm just going to cast Annex here. Could also cast this and hold up Aspect, but I'm going to cast Annex. Try to get some beefy creatures on board. This card's annoying, but it doesn't pressure us very much. Oh, okay. Well, I guess never mind. We just will never deal damage to our opponent. Omen of the Dead into Dreamstalker Manticore. Dreamstalker Manticore deals damage to anything, right? It's pretty good, so I can go... Let me go to combat, make them cast whatever they're going to cast. Don't give them the opportunity to counter a spell and tap both of our creatures. Okay. I will attack with just this. Actually, if they want to trade these 2 for Annex, that saves me a little bit of trouble. I am actually just going to attack with Annex. Looks like my opponent has a counter spell here. So I'm going to cast this Ragehound first, because I don't really care if they counter that one or not. And remember, this thing has to attack, but right now it attacks fine. Aspect your Stinging Lionfish. Sure. They untapped Annex. Whoops. I don't think that's what you meant to do. Alright, so we're going to hopefully Omen back our Manticore and use Infuriate to kill one of these things. If they attack with that Stinging Lionfish, I'm just going to block here. I think trading's fine, because I get to replace it with a 1/1. Hopefully they just tap out for a big creature. Illyrios is annoying, but fine. And I'm going to go ahead and Omen back. Do I get back Annex here? Or the Dreamstalker Manticore? I think the Manticore is just better. Didn't look like they had responses. Annex is stronger. Actually, the Manticore just killing that thing is pretty nice, though. But I have to cast a spell on their turn, which is annoying. Maybe Annex is better. Annex right now has power and toughness. Alright, I'm going to get back this Manticore. Could be wrong, but we're going to do it. Alright, Ragehound. So again, let's go ahead and go to combat. This has to attack. If they trade this for this, that's annoying. So I think this on defense is fine. And I'm okay trading this Ragehound for their 3/2. You just take it. Opponent don't care. Let's go Manticore. And I could hold up Infuriate to kill this thing. They're probably going to attack with the 3-2 as well. Maybe. Oh, nice. All right. So these are all going to get bounced, but I can use Infuriate to kill their 2-1. It's probably fine. And maybe my opponent doesn't realize that thing can't block. So basically we use Infuriate as a removal spell there. Hierophant bouncing back to hand is also decent. This thing gets in for 1. We have 5 mana. Opponent's down to 2 cards. So I think I just want to go with my 4-2. I just want to get bodies on board here. Play these things. Pass. My little low toughness creatures. Arena Trickster, sure. Tapped all their red. That lets us know they don't have any red cards in their hand. Otherwise, the auto-tapper would not have done that. This gets a counter whenever they cast a spell on our turn. So I can attack with these pretty safely. I'm probably only going to attack with the 3-1 and then use Aspect to do whatever the heck they're doing. I don't want to trade the 4-2 off just willy-nilly here. Like, if they block with Arena Trickster and use a trick to grow it, that's fine. Oh, if they block with the 3-2, I'm also okay with that, because I can just bring these Rage Hounds back. Alright, well, if that's all they do, I'm probably going to go Hierophant into my other Rage Hound. Mildemyre's Grasp. Again, this is fuel to keep bringing back Rage Hounds, though. And they did not have a blue Omen or anything. So whatever's in their hand, they're blue spells, and they cost more than 2 mana, would be my guess. Thassa's Oracle. Ooh, my opponent's not going to cheese the win here. So they're basically going to scry 3. If they only had 3 cards in library, they would win. I don't really know what happened there. Oh, wait, that's not how this works, right? Oh, yeah. You look at 3. I guess I can attack first. And at this point, I actually don't care if my Hierophant dies because it's trading for something relevant. Could send my 4-2 in as well. Kind of like the 4-2, I'm not going to lie. Alright, Thassa's Oracle trading for a 3-1 is fine by me. Let's see them go for the trick here. Chained Memory. Alright, so that's going to make... -4, -0. Yeah, I can Aspect this, and it'll still kill that, right? Because of Death Touch. I should be a 1-3. First strike off your 4-4. And then these trade. And I'll probably just cast my 3-2 here. Put another body on board. Opponent's at 11. They've done a pretty good job. I missed what happened with the scry there. Mischievous Chimera. This one deals 1 damage to each opponent when you cast a spell on your opponent's turn. Sure. Funeral Rites is not bad. I think I want to go... I'm going to cast Funeral Rites first in case we find like a removal spell or something. We can use it pre-combat. Drew a Scavenging Harpy. Pitched some nonsense. So... at this point, I'm just jamming with everything. I'm not going to attack with the 1-1 yet, I don't think. Anything that blocks is a trade. Sure. Vex and Gull's fine. It's still a trade. Like, they get to deal damage, but this is not like the Mana Core. It doesn't actually get to deal 1 to anything. They can kill 2 of my creatures. They cannot kill 3. And then I can bring back a 4-2. So they probably trade for the Mana Core and the Hero. Yeah, that's what I would have guessed. This puts them down to 6, though, and I've got a pretty strong board advantage. All right, exile 3 other cards. We'll get rid of lands and spells first. No Kroxa yet. Kroxa would be a pretty incredible draw. And that is a 4-2 that must attack. Opponent scryed to the bottom, so they're just cold drawing here. Ooh, Kroxa, please discard that card. And we can bring Kroxa back right away. Alright, they discarded a land, so they lost 3, and then we bring back Kroxa and they die because they can't discard a card. Very nice. How come Kroxa doesn't have, like, an insane animation like the blue-green one, like Uriel? All right, that played pretty smoothly. We won the die roll. We curved out. I mean, we didn't get started until like turn 4 because they used a 2-mana spell to kill our 3-drop. But the beatdown plan worked quite nicely against other equally sized creatures. And yeah, I think there you saw the weaknesses of the blue-red deck. They had Lionfish, they had Mischievous Chimera, they had, Arena Trickster. Those are your payoffs, and they just don't do that much. The mana core we have might be the best one, and it's not even the gold uncommon. But anyway, match 1 in our favor. We'll go ahead and jump right back into match 2. See you there. All right, welcome back. We are in match number 2 against World Breaker. This hand is close. I think on the draw I'm going to keep this. I just need one more land, and I can cast at least all 3 of these, and if it's a black source, I can cast almost my whole hand. Elspeth's Nightmare could be very nice here. I have 8 black sources in my deck. I think this is fine on the draw. Okay, well, that does open up Rage Hound into either of these two. Oh, against another red-black deck. So I'm going to play my Rage Hound and let it get hit by whatever my opponent's got in hand. There is a really nice sideboard card against us, the Underworld Fires. Deal 1 damage to all creatures and exile them if they die. Ooh, Kroxa? Oh, we can't cast Kroxa, though. Alright, I'm going to attack here and then cast my Dreamstalker Mana Core. Feels like they have removal, they just don't want to use it on my 3-1. Again, if this bites it to the Perforos's intervention or whatever, Perforos's, or Hunt of the Forge Hunt thing. Venomous Hierophant, sure. They milled 3 cards that are better than my cards, but we drew the Swamp. Unfortunately, we can only cast 1 spell. So I have options here. I could just trade across. I could just trade this for this, and then play my Hierophant. Could cast Kroxa, but I'd rather save that for a turn where I can go like Kroxa plus Aspect. They'd probably block here and then try to play something that can get through this. I think that's okay. I don't think I want to use my Aspect here. I think I'd just rather let them trade where they're going to trade. Oh, I was going to say they trade for the 3-1. That seems bad. Okay, so they go down to 14. We trade resources. I will play my own Venomous Hierophant. Milling a bunch of good spells. Well, these 2 I wouldn't have mind drawing, especially since I've hit my 5th land in both colors. Alright, Omen of the Dead, back your Venomous Hierophant. Sure. So this turn we're probably going to go Kroxa plus Aspect. They milled their own Rage Hound. Oh, we have an Infuriate. Unfortunately, this has Death Touch. Let's go ahead and cast Kroxa first. And we're just a swamp away from getting that back, right? I guess we need 1 more card in our graveyard. Alright, so if they discard a land, they take 3. If not, they discard a real spell. I guess this could backfire if they have something like a Pharika Swarm in their hand. But they probably would have cast that. Discarded... Oh, Omen of the Forge, huh? Interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to jam. Hopefully they block my Death Toucher, because I'd rather put the Aspect on that. And put our opponent down to 11. They bring this back as a 4-2. There's a chance that I just take a turn off from attacking, so that this has to jam into me, and then I attack them back. They do have plenty of cards to bring it back, and I can race it for sure. I'm way ahead. Oh, I guess my 3-1 has to attack, but then I get to bring mine back first. And then I can just play Kroxa. They don't know about the second black source, so I think I'm going to attack with both here, and then just bring Kroxa back. Because one of these creatures... Yeah, I like this, so I don't actually have to exile my stupid Rage Hound. I get 2 cards in the graveyard. And it is Kroxa time. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have to discard another card. Red-black, I think, is going to have a hard time dealing with this. They could, of course, have Final Death. Never mind, that's a pretty cool animation. It's just not as flashy as Uro. Alright, they don't take damage. I mean, if they have a final death, this game goes on. Entrancing Liar, but they need 6 mana to keep Kroxa down. They're just dead if they don't have anything, and if they have a small creature, Elspeth's Nightmare gets them. Alright, Kroxa did its job. It didn't get to attack there, but threatens the win. Even if they had a small thing, we had an answer for it. So, yeah, Kroxa was pretty sweet. See, even though we didn't get to attack with it, because it killed our opponent, it already made our opponent discard 2 cards. So it was a Mind Rot, over the course of a couple turns, and we were going to attack with it next turn regardless of what they played. So we were going to get a 3rd card out of them. Not bad. A little bit interesting. We take another one, though. I think I keep wanting to play this sort of matchup, right, where we can use our combat tricks to just keep our creatures getting through. But we had a pretty lucky draw there. We kept a 2-lander. We could have gotten screwed pretty easily in a 16-land deck. 2 wins, though. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with it. See you all match number 3. All right, ladies and gents, we're back. Another hand where we're severely lacking a 2-drop. But we've got this Dreamstalker on board on turn 3. We also have interaction this time in the form of good removal, so I don't mind this. Opponent took a mulligan there, but they're on the draw. Goo against a white deck. All right, Aspect's not a bad follow-up to Dreamstalker Mana Core. Unfortunately, we're not casting anything here. Birth of Meletus. All right, this is fine. My 4/2 does attack into an 0/4 pretty well. The 2 life's annoying, I guess, but not too big a deal. All right, 4/2. Let's go 4/2. Let's go. I guess this ability doesn't come up too often, but the fact that this one hits any target is fine. 2/2. Sure, you got it. All right, so I think pretty straightforward turn here. We just, well, actually, if I use my Aspect now, I can go Hero plus Myers Grasp next turn or Final Death. I'd like to just Myers Grasp this, but I can use Aspect and get in there. If they have Karametra's Blessing, I guess this game's indestructible. I'm going to go with the Aspect this turn and just double up on spells next turn. No Karametra's Blessing, please. Alright, so now we have a 6/2 on board. They could easily just stick like a Dreadful Apathy on this thing. But they've got plenty of cards. They've got the 3rd color. Alright, now this is going to be a good turn. They might even chump at this point. So let's go Grasps. I mean, this is one of those games, though, where we're using all our resources. And then we're running out of resources. So if my opponent just has hit, we could be in trouble. They chose not to chump with the wall. Respectable. I mean, the wall can hold off a different blocker, so that makes sense, I suppose. It's a Teshin Champion. Oh, boy. Into an enchantment right away. Yep, Warbriar's Blessing. Kill the hero. Not bad. Not bad at all. Underworld Rage Hound. Well, this seems like a pretty easy turn. Exile that and attack for 6. And then our hand is a little dinky. Do we still... Yeah, we do have Thrilled Possibility in our deck, so I do think I'm going to go ahead and hold tight on this mountain here. And the 3/1 might just be bad, depending on what our opponent drops. Captivating Unicorn. Yeah, 3/1's looking pretty measly. I'm going to attack, though, and see if they want to make that trade. All right, 3/1 coming down. 3/1's pretty bad against the 0/4, actually. And this is what I was talking about. We used all our resources. Kind of got nothing going on now. Just a little weird. Like, if we just draw a straight land for another 2 turns, we just lose this game. Have to attack. Okay. Yep. And then I'm going to start getting hit back while that 0/4 just brick walls this, literally. My opponent has all spells in hand. It's a Teshin Training, sure. That cantrips makes it a little bit more powerful. Need to draw, like, Kroxa or something right now. Kroxa, oh no, that card kills me every time. Ugh. Basically, if you don't deal with that right away, you're dead. I'll give it one more draw, and then this game's probably over. We already used our best removal spell for that as well. Sure. Ragehound has to attack. Alright, well, Soul Reaper gives me an incentive to play out lands here and pass. Could block sack Soul Reaper. I don't think I want to do that. I think actually if I sack this, I can bring it back as a 4-2. That might let me trade. Sure, opponent's going all in here. Oh, it has trample too, so I can't even like block sack. I mean, sure, you got me. The fact that they're drawing cards is what really hurts here. I could potentially stabilize against this if they weren't drawing extra cards with Stagger and Insight, but it just means they're going to have all the answers. All right, let's sack this. They're at 23 life now. Yeah, Scophos War Leader. Guess we're not dead. We might as well play it out, right? Play that. And we have to double block and hope they just don't have anything and then still find an answer for Witness. Alright, I'm going to double block and make you use that trick you drew into. Even if this does work, we still have to find an answer because they have Sentinel's Eye, so they can make this a 4-power creature next turn. In fact, with that being said, I might just want to sack this Soul Reaper here. Yeah, I'm going to sack Soul Reaper to itself. I need to find an answer stat, and I can't afford to use 3 mana on my turn. Omen of the Dead. I guess Scavenging Harpy blocks. Omen of the Dead doesn't quite do anything, does it? Oh, actually, Scavenging Harpy can eat the Sentinel's Eyes. Alright, let's play that first and see if it gets countered or something. My opponent has 9 mana on board. Has the game even been going on that long? Alright, we'll eat Sentinel's Eyes. I guess bring back Ragehound this turn, or is it worth omening into something? I think omening into this thing is probably best. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 3 for this one. We had a good start here, but our opponent's at 30, and we're dying. And they get to scry here twice. Yep. I mean, removal spell by itself doesn't kill me, but how am I getting them through 30? I guess, like, I need to find answer for Witness, and then I need to draw Kroxa or something. And what, I guess Myers Grasp kind of does it, but even that's not great. Go to 1 here. I think I'm going to go to 1. They have Starlit Mantle or whatever, then so be it. And they keep on top. Okay. Well, Infuriate could kill that. I'm going to attack with this because I have to. I have no choice. And let's see what the opponent ends up doing here. Kind of want to omen back the stupid Soul Reaper. I'm going to play a land here and pass. Vexing Goal. Does that kill me? I can't... I could Infuriate through their creature, but I can't do anything else. I can't even draw with this, so I think that's fine. They got me. Pretty good. The stupid... I think it was more the Stagger and Insight than, like, and them being able to block our creatures in the Flood. The Stagger and Insight in general just made it so I can't race them. And drawing extra cards. That card is so brutal when it sticks, right? They didn't even put it on a particularly good creature. We just had to attack with the Ragehound. That puts us at 2-1, so we pick up our first loss. That's fine, though. We had a good start there. We just flooded in the crucial turns, and that was one of those annoying matches where you run out removal spell, you attack, you run out removal spell, you attack, and then you're out of spells, you flood, and your opponent drew all spells, and you don't get there. But we'll go ahead and jump into match 4, and I'll see you all there. All right, we are back. We're against the real Ronald Dump. We're on the draw with some pretty mediocre 3-drops, and if we draw a bunch of lands, I mean, we can thrill on turn 2. I think the opponent took a mulligan here. Yeah, this isn't great, but we could potentially draw into one of our 3-1s. We have 3 of them in the deck, I believe. Maybe we only have 2. I don't know. We've got plenty of 2-drops that we can draw into within the first 2 turns. Another red deck. Myers Grasp, not a bad one to draw here necessarily. Even Kroxa would be a fine 2-drop just to get it going, you know. Neshin Wanderer. Alright. I will kill that right away. Ah, that was awkward. Do I want to play my 3-1, or do I just want to kill this and have them not draw lands for the rest of the game? And you know what I mean. Not get free lands every turn. I'm going to play my 3-1. I'm going to use my best judgment here. It's a good chance they go, you know, enchantments. Ooh. Removal spell enchantments, the worst. Plus, they're going to probably hit a land drop off this. Yeah, maybe I should kill this right away. Worst case scenario was them, you know, doing exactly this card. An enchantment that kills my creature and gets them their stupid land. Alright, well, again, I can go 3-drop. I think I'm still supposed to just let them get their dumb land and play this, I suppose. That way I can double spell Thrill plus Mire's Grasp or something along those lines. Alright, follow up. I don't love our matchup against red-green because they tend to have big creatures. Yeah, I'm not going to block. I take 1 if nothing happens, and if I block, like, they go Aspect, get a land, kill our creature. I don't love that. Loathsome Chimera is fine. It's a good card, but it's fine here. I'm probably going to try to trade for it. So I'm thinking I go Mire's Grasp, killing the 1/3. Try to block here. We think they have Aspect of Manicore, right? If they don't, they make that trade happen. I Harpy it away. If they do, then I can just trade something else off for it, and that's fine too. I do want to kill this 1/3 though. Maybe it's not super relevant. Like, they've already hit their land drops. But what am I doing if not casting these spells? Am I going to throw away a land here? I guess I could do that first. This is a little risky, but... oh, those are good ones. Elspeth's Nightmare can kill that thing. So now are we going to Mire's Grasp? Yeah. Let's go ahead and Mire's Grasp the 1/3, and I'll look to block the 4/1 here. Their thing has escaped, so there's a decent chance like they could just let it die here. But the 1/3 attack, unless that was just like... I guess that's an easy chump attack, right? Sure, Warbriar's Blessing's fine here. It is annoying. This is now a 3 toughness creature, but that wasn't the worst case scenario. Alright, I can just play this. Unfortunately, I ditched a land, so no bueno there. Could play Annex, but that'd be a 2/3. Just gonna play a 3/1 and pass. I'm getting a little hurt by the fact that Jesus, come on, opponent. Alright, I need them to run out of, like, interaction here. So far, they've killed 3 things, and they're beating us for 4. Alright, go ahead. Go ahead. You got me, another 4. Like, here's where it gets really bad. If they just play another big creature on board, I'm kind of priced into dealing with stuff. Yeah, like, I don't feel like I'm winning this now. I have a dead card in my hand as well. I could bring back a 4/1 here. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Exile 1, 2, 3. And let's see if they've got the 4th removal spell. Maybe I was supposed to Mire's Grasp the Chimera, but it didn't feel right. I mean, I can't expect removal spell, removal spell. Okay. This game is over. I actually might just be dead this turn. 9. Yeah, my opponent played a creature followed by 4 removal spells. Like, and we just died to that. And that puts us at 2-2. I'm not going to beat that sort of draw ever. That's kind of an insane draw. Even if I had Mire's Grasp there, dude, like, the Voracious Typhon's still a problem. But I'll take my losses and take my lumps, and we'll see if we can win out here. Maybe another 3-3 under our belts. Haven't been winning a lot in this format. I'll give you that, but maybe I'm misplaying or drafting bad decks. Who knows? Anyway, I will see you all in match number 5. All right, we are back for match number 5. If we lose, we're out. This is a fine hand. Kroxa might not be my turn 2 play, since I have another turn 2 play, but we'll see what the opponent does. We're on the draw here against another white deck. Fine. Drawing a 3-drop there is nice. And let's see what the opponent's 2-drop is first. Transcendent Envoy. Sure thing. Can't block Temple Thief. So I guess that's something. I drew the 4th land too, so I've got 3-drop into 4-drop here. Let's see if they go suiting up their Transcendent Envoy. Maybe. Looks like that's what's happening. Sentinel's Eye, sure. Costs 1 less to cast. Again, they can't block my dude, and that's a pretty good draw as well. So they added a power to the board, but I added 4 power to the board. So I think my turn 3 favored their turn 3. Nexus Wardens, that's not bad. Don't mind attacking into that. Ooh, that was a good draw too. So I think I'm just going Iroas's Blessing, kill this. Make this a 5/3. Could also see if they want to just take that trade, but I don't think they do. Then they can bring Sentinel's Eyes back onto this if they really wanted to. I guess they don't have another card in their graveyard. I just like killing this Transcendent Envoy. Make sure I'm not actually dealing 4 to that. Yep, attack with that, and no point really attacking with the 2/2 here. It can block their 1/3. I assume they're going to take 5. Kroxa gets better the less cards they have in hand too. I would rather, unless they're really close to dying, I would rather them actually discard a spell than discard a land and take 3. Ooh, Mire's Grasp, number 2. Alright, I think I'm supposed to attack with this here. And they have 1 green. I mean, is there even a 1-mana green spell? I think I'm just going to attack with my 5/3 here. If they do something, I will Aspect. And if not, I'll play probably just the Hierophant. Could also go Kroxa into Mire's Grasp. They're mana screwed, so this could be relevant. But I like getting another body on board here. Alright, milled over some stuff we don't really need too much. Hierophant can attack past the 1/4 pretty nicely. Cool, Command and Presence is nice. So they make a 1/1 whenever this hits me. I can Mire's Grasp that thing to make it 0 power. And I can attack with these pretty safely. Oh, actually, you know what I can do here is... I don't have a creature in my graveyard, do I? I have Mogus's Marauder. This is fine, actually. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go... Oh, no, I'm a mana short from doing that. Alright, I'm going to shrink this and then probably just cast, like, Omen of the Dead and ping it off with the Dreamstalker. And just really hope they play another enchantment. Nexus Warden's going to be a pain if they kill my 5/3. Maybe I should have done that upkeep so they didn't get a cheaper thing there. I'm going to do this while they don't have mana open. Ping that. Heliod's Punishment's okay. The fact that it doesn't straight up kill our thing, but we get it back in a couple... Well, not a couple turns, but later this game is not terrible. 5 mana. We'll go Kroxa into a 3-drop. Just the hero here. Might as well do this now, otherwise I'll forget. I guess I should cast Kroxa first. That's fine. I mean, they have Gift of Strength here or something, but nah. Alright, let's go Kroxa into... I guess I have to do Soul Reaper because I only have 1 red source. Discard a spell, please. They discarded Eutropia. I will cast this thing and pass the turn. They can Sentinel's Eyes here if they want to. Gains them 2 life, make this a 2/5. It's not bad. If I draw another red source, I'm still 2 cards away from casting Kroxa. I can make that happen with these 2. Opponent just decides to concede there. Might be missing a bunch of blue cards, who knows. But I'll take the win. We get to keep playing, and I like our deck. I like casting Kroxa. It's pretty sweet. Has some absurd explosive animation. Let's see if we can get past our little rut of 3 and 3 here. Remember last time we had a virtual 4 and 2 before we misclicked. So an actual 4 and 2 puts us at our highest record, at least on camera so far. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump in and see if we can make that happen. So match number 6 coming your way. All right, match 6 as promised. Another hand where we're not really doing anything till turn 3, but just one time, draw the Rage Mutt. Just draw the Rage Mutt. I'm okay with it. This is a pretty good hand. If we can get a creature out of Elspeth's Nightmare, that'd be pretty nice. Opponent takes a mole. A lot of our opponents have been mulliganing. We're against Mr. Tick. It is worth noting, too, that we're in, like, Bronze League because it reset. It's February 1st, so everything's kind of reset. But I assume people we're playing against also reset. And, you know, I say that, but we have 2 losses already, so it's not like it matters. Opponent took a mole. They're in their main phase, and they are thinking. They're thinking about which temple to play first. Which Scryland do you play first? Oh, no Scryland. Forest, Moss Viper. Annoying, but acceptable. No reason to Myers Grasp that, because it at least gives us something that Elspeth's Nightmare can kill. And again, the Chapter 2 here is better the sooner you can play it, so I might forego playing a creature on turn 3 to just play Elspeth's Nightmare on turn 3. I don't know if that's correct or not, but and it does stop us from curving out, but if we go this on turn 3, this on turn 4, Elspeth's Nightmare might not ever get to really do its thing. Yeah, we actually get to kill a better creature, I think. Ah, why? That would be such a good draw right now. Or if I just had that in play. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop their 2-1 here. If I have to trade a creature for a 1-1 Death Touch, I accept. I just want to get the possibility of duressing them as soon as possible. Even if it forces them to play like suboptimally and put like a bad enchantment on this Mouse Viper or something, I'm okay with it. And then we'll play tentatively Soul Reaper into Hierophant. We'll see what we draw. Oh, Siona's pretty nice. I mean, if they get an Aura with this, I can just snatch it with Elspeth's Nightmare, so they would need multiple good spells. Myers Grasp and Siona's fine. They bricked. So let's see if they have something else. Or they might have even just chose not to put something. Alright, so we're not super worried about their hand. We can't get super aggro against them. And it's nice to know about this because Myers Grasp can kill that. Let's go ahead and play Hierophant here. I don't know why I was thinking play this. I have 4 mana this turn. 3 lands. Okay, I don't hate that. I would have rather, you know, hit Kroxa or one of these things or something, but I don't hate not drawing these 3 lands. Effectively already seen half the lands in our deck. We're going to exile their graveyard next. Probably not going to matter too much. They're going to play some blockers, so we're probably not getting in there for a little while. Moss Viper might attack me. And I do feel like I want to wait on Myers Grasp for this thing until I see a reason to put it on some other creature. No land drop from the opponent. Omen of the Dead, huh? Alright, Elspeth's Nightmare did its thing. We can very easily go boom, boom, but the problem with playing the Rage Hound here is that they have a 1/4. That being said, I can sack it to Soul Reaper, so I think that's okay. Do I want to attack with Hierophant? Trade it for that? No. Although I can Omen it. I'm just going to use all 5 of my mana here and cast 2 creatures and pass. And we're looking to sack Rage Hound next turn to draw a card. I guess that's the game plan. Opponent's playing green-white auras, but it looks like they're splashing as well. Dawn Evangel's good. Rage Hounds are not what I want here. I mean, I could Myers Grasp this thing, but that's not what I want to use my Myers Grasp on. Let's make sure they actually make the block first. With the 1/4. Because if they don't make that block, I don't have to sack. I'll just play another one. And if they do block, I guess I could also just bring it back as a 4/2. I can do that next turn and get some value off of it and just play another stupid Rage Hound. Opponent could be scared of a combat trick. I'd be alright with that. Oh, please block with a real creature. Oh, take 3. Nice. So now what I can do is play another Rage Hound and just hold up Soul Reaper at instant speed here. This gives me a potential blocker in case like Moss Viper attacks. I will take that trade. Do got to watch out for auras here, though. This plus this is a nice little combination. Any aura they stick on their own creature makes a 1/1, and then when that creature dies, they get a small creature back. All right. This could be annoying. This could be annoying. I do think I'm going to... Actually, I've got 2 of these attacking. I can untap here. Another swamp's not bad. Now I attack with both of these, and one gets eaten by Nexus Warden. That one we sack to draw a card. The other one actually trades for a real creature. Opponent's got plenty of life, too. Dang, I am super okay with this. So now do I want to bring it back as a 4/2 is the question. Probably. That way it trades for something else. It trades 4 cards in my graveyard for a real card. Oh, no, 3 cards in my graveyard. Alright, you're up, opponent. Opponent must really want their Nexus Warden for whatever reason. Hope they just go land this thing. Hero of the Winds. That could be a scary card. That killed us last time. Ooh, Aspect of Manicore? That's not bad. So now I feel like I should be attacking with everything that... Well, these have to attack, so I feel like I send this in as well. And then I can Manicore up this. This trades for probably the 1/1. This gets eaten by the Nexus Warden. And if they block here, I can Aspect that. Oh, man. I meant to attack with the 3/3 as well. Whoops. Big whoops. Yes, keep trading. Yes, yes, kill the flyer. Opponent must be scared of tricks, which I happen to actually have one here, but yeah. So kind of cool here. Oh, never mind. Forget everything I was about to say. All right, we'll ship it. Still keeping the stupid Nexus Warden on board. But now their enchantment payoffs are gone. Like, these are all things that want enchantments on board. They still have Siona. We know they have 2 non-lands in play because they have a 5-drop, but they're not playing a land and casting the 5-drop. They have to trade something else for this. Oh, I lied. Maybe they have a 5-drop. Alright. So this should be a pretty good turn. We Myers Grasp the 5/3, attack with the 5/1, and see if they want to trade something else. Alright, we can stop drawing lands now. That's fine. But we're probably going to use Omen at some point here. I think this is definitely attack. Oh, God, I'm such an idiot. I meant to kill that. I don't think they're going to block with it, though. So I can probably make the same attack I was going to regardless. Yeah. Alright, let's go and make this attack. I do kind of want to Omen back this Hierophant. Yeah, so I'm fine with it trading. And no block on the 5/1. Every time they don't block this, I get to replay it. So how much mana do I have? 6, 7. That's 1. I have enough to do everything I want to do here, which is kill your 5/3. They do not make a 1/1 when I target their creatures. Play Omen, get back Hierophant, play Hierophant. This gives me a good shot at hitting Kroxa or putting enough cards to bring back another Rage Hound. No Kroxa, an Annex though, which I would not have mind drawing. Also, this is the type of game where Lampad can be good. Do think I want to scry on upkeep. I mean, I can bring back Rage Hounds 2 more times here. Opponent has done everything in their power to keep this 1/4 on board. Like, I was willing to just throw away creatures to draw cards, but... Rumble and Sentry, not the 3/6. Alright. Well, that changes things a little bit, huh? That can eat a 5/1 for sure. Alright, this might be a sack my Rage Hound to Mogus turn. Let's scry first. 3/6. All right, let's go 1, 2, 3. Scry and see what we can draw. I mean, even like an Infuriate to get through that thing's fine. Iroas's Blessing is going to be my draw for sure. And then I think what we're going to do here is go attack, attack, attack. I don't like that those come in together like that. The Hierophant has a pretty good attack here. The 3/6 is probably going to eat the 5/1. And then I'm going to sack the 5/1 to get value off of it. Sure. Play the Mountain and pass. I do have Thrill of Possibility. I should probably keep a land at this point. I have 7 mana. The Netchin Boar? Oh, that's so absurd. Alright. See if our... Oh, why did I do that? Why did I block like that? Alright. See, this is how you lose Magic. You just throw away creatures. Infuriate, Mire's Grasp. Ooh, we ditched an Erebos' Intervention, which would have been a good draw here. Alright, so my opponent jams with everything. If they have a removal spell, I might just die. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I could bring back a Rage Hound and draw an extra card off this, and it threatens to trade. Plus I have the Infuriate, so I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, draws me an extra card as well. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, opponent has put themselves right back in this game, I think. Because I'm going to have to trade off my board for the boar, and they get in some extra damage. Plus, if they have anything like super good here, I might just get destroyed. They could also pass the turn and let my 4/2 attack into them, I guess. And then hopefully we can use Infuriate for some value. Turns out random 6 toughness creatures might be the death of me here. Also, I threw away the freaking 2/3. I just blocked for no reason. Should have blocked this and just taken 2 extra damage. For some reason, I was thinking this is not a particularly good attacker. Like it was another 1 power big toughness thing. But it's not. Lagona Band Storyteller. So you get to put an enchantment back on top of your library. Gain life equal to its mana cost. Put the 5/3 on top. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Alright, they are coming in with the boar. I have to block the boar. I'm going to draw 2 cards, and I'm taking 6 damage here. Scavenging Harpy, another Rage Hound, sure. But I'm going down to 9, and now I have no board. I also didn't draw the cards that I really needed to, and they're at 17? I have 9 cards left? Is this another game where I'm just going to mill out? Jeez. Alright, so what's our game plan here? Mire's Grasp. They're going to bring back the 5/3, so I feel like I want to wait on that. Can play Harpy. Plus bring back a Rage Hound. And keep up 2 mana. Can also bring back a Rage Hound and Iroas's Blessing to kill this. I mean, I can kill this regardless of what Iroas's Blessing goes on. Alright, I think here's our game plan. Let's go Harpy. Let's exile probably the boar to be safe. Blessing here. Kill your 3/4. And then Rage Hound. And pass. Keep myself wide open, but we know what they're drawing and we can Mire's Grasp that. Does gain him 2 life, though. This Nexus Warden's really getting me. I need to draw Kroxa, like, basically right away so I can get enough attacks in with it. If it's, like, the bottom couple cards of my library, I'm not going to get to attack with it enough. 3/6 coming in. Do I want to trade 2 creatures for it? This thing attacks into this. Bringing back 4/2s as well. And I've got plenty of cards in my graveyard. Get the 3/6 off board. Or keep the creatures on board. Tough call, tough call. Gonna block. Gonna try to kill your 3/6. It has trample, doesn't matter. Can't believe I threw away my 2/3 like that. I mean, I guess the good news for us is our opponent has drawn 5 lands, so there's a decent chance they draw a bunch of lands, but I need Kroxa now. Alright, well, we're going to go grasp that, bring back 2 Rage Hounds. 1, 2, 3. Bring back another Rage Hound. 1, 2, 3. And pass the turn. Here's our game plan. 4/2s that have to attack. Just draw some lands. Thank you, opponent. Now don't... No, what? What? Come on. Alright, we drew Kroxa, though. So this puts an enchantment back on the battlefield. Good news is I can go Kroxa, replay Kroxa. What enchantment do they get here? Nylea's Forerunner? Sure. Alright, we can beat that. That's not the worst. Although this is a 4-power creature attacking us. Alright, let's jam. Might just be dead in a couple turns. Like, there's a chance my opponent just doesn't block here. Alright. So, Kroxa is going to deal 3 to our opponent, put him down to 12. And then we replay Kroxa, puts him down to 9. And we can bring back a Rage Hound. Alright, so 5 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see if we have enough cards to bring back another Rage Hound. We do not. So I cannot bring back another Rage Hound. Alright, they drew a land. Good. Are we getting hit for 4? We are. I think they're dead, though. Yeah, if they attack, they're dead because of the Infuriate. They go down to 6 when this attacks. I can Infuriate this for the win. As long as I don't misclick. Can also just do that and make this easy. So there's no misclicks involved. Alright, I didn't think I was losing this game at any point, and then I realized I was decking out. And then also my... I just threw away a creature. The Rumble and Slum. I mean, we can't have a good limited deck if we lose to Rumble and Slum, right? That's a problem. Also, we didn't skip straight to Silver Tier, so the game's like, you suck, bro. Alright, 4-2. We got over a 3-3 slump, so now it's only uphill from here. We want to win 2 more, ideally, but we're going to keep playing until we take our loss. And our deck's sweet, even if we go out now. Like, I think it did what it set out to do. This doesn't feel like a 7-0 deck or a 7-2 deck, so we'll try to eke out a couple more wins here. This will be match 7 coming up. See you there. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. This is match 6. We're 4-2. This hand with the 3rd land is decent. It has just plenty of plays. I'm going to keep it on the draw. On the play, I would err on the side of still keeping it. This is where I really wish I knew the matchup, right? All right, well, if I'm going to draw something... I can't, or if I'm not going to draw a 3rd land there, I'd at least like to draw something I can cast, and any 2-drop there fits that bill. Something to like pick up and Infuriate and just be able to block is fine in my boat. Alright, we did in fact draw the 3rd land, which is nice. Destiny Spinner, pretty good one. If none of this other text mattered, it'd still be a 2-mana 2/3 that triggers Constellation. They have the Elspeth's Nightmare. It's fine. Mountain would be great, so I could play Anax. And they're going to get a card out of my hand, too. Like I said, this card's really good when you get it on turn 3. Probably take the Funeral Rites. They can play around and Infuriate. I'm going to get Annex on board, though. Duress me, and they exile my graveyard. All 3 modes of this are just going to get me really good here. And they're playing black-green, which, again, could just, like, turn 4 a Voracious Typhon. I'd be surprised if they took Infuriate. I guess given the rest of my hand, maybe they want to take Infuriate, so I can't go like Hero into Infuriate, but who knows? Who knows? If they attack with this thing, I'm just going to block. I don't mind them using this turn to use a trick or something to kill Anax. Although, I guess... Oh, they did take Infuriate, so they might be playing like a big creature this turn or next turn or something. I mean, if they go premium 2-drop... Oh, Binding of the Titans. Oh, my cards get exiled, though. Alright, well, nothing we care about, but this does get rid of actual cards, which sucks. Still best to play a 3-drop here, attack with my 3/3. They get to exile... Assuming they put this on the stack correctly, they get to exile 2 cards and then exile my graveyard. So they do want to probably manually put those on the stack. They definitely have Gray Merchant going on somewhere in here. And Timuret's really good against me too. Alright, I'm going to play my 3/2 and attack with Anax. Alright, looks like manually putting triggers on the stack, sure. Ooh, oh yeah, they put them on there correctly. Nice. Basically, the end result is my graveyard gets exiled, but they gained 2 life here. I only had 1 creature, so they gain 1 life. And then next turn, they get back a land or creature, probably putting Timuret in their hand. Also, got to watch out for this making surprise tokens. Scavenging Harpy, sure. You got it. Drawing a land would be nice so I can just double creature here. Hierophant. How much do we care about that? I could go Funeral Rites trying to hit a mountain for Underworld, Ragehound, and then still use up all my mana. Or I could just play the 3/3 Death Touch, which is fine. If I attack with... I guess if I play this, Anax is 4 power, so they would have to double block to kill it. But then I'm not playing anything else. It does not seem optimal. If they double block Anax right now, I trade for Destiny Spinner, make a token. I think I can just afford to attack with both my creatures here. Remember, if they kill Hero of the Games, I at least make a 1/1 for my efforts. Alright, we'll kill your Destiny Spinner. Make a 1/1. I would have made 2 1/1s. Yeah, maybe I should have just played this. That's fine. Let's go and play the Hierophant. Ooh, Kroxa hit the bin. Kroxa hit the bin. Opponent has... Oh, they might get Timuret here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them get Timuret and just exile my graveyard right away. Which really ruins a lot of my strategy. But at the same time, it... I mean, it gains them life. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Timuret's going to be a 2/3. Guess opponent has to weigh their options on how likely it is that I'm actually even bringing back Kroxa this turn, and it's not very likely. If they play Timuret, they're just going to eat my 2 dudes. If they don't, I might just want to bring back Ragehound and use my graveyard before Timuret messes it up. Really, going with the Underworld Dreams. Uh-oh. I'm super getting Gray Merchant in here. I have good board position. Probably just play this Ragehound, right? Because my graveyard's going away. There's no way I'm bringing back Kroxa, unfortunately. Unless I draw Omen of the Dead. Because then I can Omen of the Dead in response to Timuret. I feel like they're setting up for Gray Merchant, though. Why play this instead of Timuret? This adds almost as much devotion. Alright, we drew black, so we can go boom, boom. But I do think I just want to get rid of Kroxa and play this. Attacking with everything here as well. Alright, fine with the trade. Opponent's down to 11. Gray Merchant would be relevant. I mean, next turn, if they go Timuret, it's going to be a 2/5. They have to use their whole turn. Bring this back as a 4/2. 2/5 is kind of annoying. If I play these two, I can still attack next turn. If I play this, it attacks into Timuret. Yeah, I mean, if they use their whole next turn to go Timuret, exile these two, like, that can't be that bad for me. I have Funeral Rites to refuel a little bit here after emptying my hand. And we'll ship. If they go Gray Merchant, like, that's actually not that big of a deal at all. Oh, they have Mystic Repeal. Nice. Just waiting for me to put an enchantment on board. Sure. Alright, so I'm expecting Timuret, immediately exile. Scavenging Harpy, sure. Oh, Scavenging Harpy plus Timuret. Very nice. Still giving me an opportunity to bring this stack, though. So 2/6. Omen of the Dead. Alright. It's not bad. So what I can do here is Omen back Anax. I can Omen back Anax, attack with everything. I mean, they can eat this and trade, but... Could also do the Rage Hound here. I think I'm just going to bring back Anax. Just keep pressuring them. Do that before they can kill my dude. At least this way, if they eat the 3/1, which they probably will do, it turns into a 1/1. And trade for the Scavenging Harpies, fine. Alright, and they're gonna go eat your Rage Hounds. Although they have like Gray Merchant in hand, that gives me an opportunity to play one of my Rage Hounds. Arachnir is fine for now, but it's gonna come back as a 4/5, which is pretty gross. Alright. If they let me go to main phase, yeah, they let me go to main phase. So I'm just gonna exile my library and put one of these on the stack. They cannot Timuret in response. So my whole graveyard's gone now, and I made a 4/2. Plus Anax is now bigger. Attack with this for sure. They probably chump with the Spider. If they bring back the Spider, it's a 4/5, which is going to be a problem. If I attack with Anax, they double block, but I get in some damage. I think I'm just attacking with this thing. Yeah, expect this block. Opponent can also exile creatures from their own graveyard if they want to gain life. But, oh, this is double green to bring back. I guess that's relevant. Might not be able to bring it back. Moss Viper. Okay. I would love to draw just like Final Death or something here. Timuret, I think, has been fantastic in this format. Just messing up decks like this is very relevant. Ooh, Harpy? Harpy, eat your Chain Web Arachnir. Yeah, seems good to me. All right, let's go. I have to attack with Rage Hound, but again, that's not even that bad. Attack with this, attack with this. If I attack with that, they just block. Actually, this turns into 2/1/1s. Yeah, I like this attack. I like keeping Anax on board here because I have more creatures that just turn into 1/1s when they die. I could have... This might actually be relevant against them too. Sure. So those are going to die. We eat their Moss Viper, but then we make 3/1/1s. I can start jamming a bunch of creatures into them here. And I'm going to... They're going to gain 2 life, but I'm going to eat their Arachnir out of the graveyard. As soon as I find it. Alright, none of that. They can eat their own Arachnir in response to gain a life. I guess that's not a bad play. Do need them to kind of like not draw a Gray Merchant, but right now I think I'm very far ahead. This could just kill them. They've got 1 card in hand. It's not a land. Probably just going to play this next turn. Unfortunately, Timorite also gains life. Gray Merchant would hit me for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, they drew a forest off the top. What is this? They can cast a 6-drop now if they've been holding one. Or double green spell. Blight Breath Catoblepis. That's really good. Kill the Harpy? I do think I'm at the phase of this game where I'm just jamming creatures into my opponent. They are Stone Cold top decking. So if I attack with 5 of these, I get in 3 damage. If I attack with Annex, they trade this. I get in 4 damage. Not 100% sure what I want to do. I'm just going to play War Leader and pass, I believe. And hope they don't top deck on me too hard. Remember, Timorite's just keeping them... Timorite has basically won their entire game for him here. Another Arachnir. Ooh, Myers Grasp. There we go. Myers Grasp is nice. So I think now we grasp this, and then probably give this Menace. And then attack with everything. Let's go Grasp. Could also grasp this. No, I'm just going to grasp your stupid Catoblepis. Get a blocker out of the way here. What if I attack with everything? Like, they would have to double block Annex to kill it. And then they take 4, 5, or they take 9, potentially 11, and I still kill this, and I still make a 1/1. Like, if I play this and just attack with everything, they can't be in good shape. Because Annex would make 2 more 1/1s. Yeah, I'm going to do that. If they want to double block Annex, that's fine. If they want to go eat a 1/1 and block here, that's fine too. Again, they get to gain a decent amount of life here. They've still got 4 life sitting around, plus whatever they block here. Oh, I can actually stop the spider from going to the graveyard as well. Get an extra point of damage in. Still going to make 2 1/1s here. But their spider doesn't go to the graveyard, which is pretty important. So they're going to take 5. They're going to take 10. Go back up to presumably 4, or go back up to 6 by the end of this turn if they exile the full amount of creatures. Yep. All right, so 2 of mine, 2 of yours, I'm guessing. 1, 2, 3, yeah, just 4 creatures left in their graveyard. Maybe I should have let the spider die. Like, they can't possibly use their next turn just bringing back the spider. They need something very good here. All right, I think that kills them. So 2 creatures left. They're at virtually 8 life. They go block, block, 5, 6, 7. So if I give this Menace, they die. Nice. Very nice. Man, Timorite just tore us apart. If that doesn't show you how good Timorite is in this format, then I don't know what to tell you. It is a little bit strange that my opponent decided to go with the Underworld Dreams first, but having played out that game, I think the reason they did that was so that when Timorite came down, it would have enough toughness to survive a lot of the burn spells. They didn't want to play Timorite and then have me just like play Irosa's Blessing and kill it, and then, you know, Timorite's dead, right? So maybe that was correct for them to play it that way. But, geez, Timorite gained a ton of life, ate all of my Undergrowth cards, or escape cards, whatever. I think the point they messed up at was they let me cast that Rage Hound and use my graveyard instead of, like, exiling on their turn. They probably thought they could do it in response to me casting the escape card, but not how that works. That does put us at 5-2, so we get to keep playing. This will be match number 8 coming up. If you're still with me, thank you. Let's go ahead and jump in and win a couple more. See you there. All right, welcome back. We are against Xanthus. We're on the draw, and we have removal for days, but no creatures. I think the removal is probably enough to keep this. Is this an instant? This is an instant. Wow. So we can kill a couple small creatures here. Oh, okay. Anax, good draw. So that gives me pressure to put on board, which I like. Anax was insane last game. This is definitely the best of the cycle. I guess, I mean, Timurit's, you know, not as roll-y powerful, but Timurit probably serves a little bit of a better role. Do I need to kill that right away for any reason? Erebos' intervention gets better as the game goes on. I think I'm fine just passing here. I really want to Myers Grasp that. Although I guess one reason to Myers Grasp there is I'm going to play this on turn 3. So maybe I just wanted to get it out of the way. I don't know. Ooh, kind of want to Myers Grasp that one. How bad does this get? That's the question. Well, it gets pretty bad, but not bad enough that I'm not just going to cast Anax and pass. I am kind of glad I still have the Myers Grasp, but I do have removal for days. I'm hoping they, you know, use a turn to just load up like auras on this, and then I can blow them out. Heliod's Punishment, that's fine. I'm going to take 6, but that's still fine. It said no abilities, is that what goes on? Okay, sure. Alright, let's go. Grasp your boy. And pass. Again, I want to use Final Death before Erebos' intervention. But if they go for like a friggin' Stagger and Insight, I'm going to give this -1/-1. Yep. Pass. I'm at 10. I'm getting beat down, that's for sure. Shimmerwing Chimera is going to die. The question is, do they have Karametra's Blessing? That is just the question we always have to ask in this format, isn't it? Not going to give them the opportunity to draw it. They do not have it. Nice. And this can't attack or block. Just activate now. Dealt with our opponent's threats. We've got a little bit of life gain on our hands here. Opponent down to 2 cards. Slowly dying. Could use another creature. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, that is another creature, and it's a pretty good one. Again, we can use Infuriate as a combat trick here. Assuming they don't have removal, but let's play Mountain, play this, and pass. By removal, I meant counterspell. Probably take another 2, I think. And then this has 2 more turns. So I don't like this card. If I can stabilize enough to get back in it, you know, they might have been able to push in enough damage that it was still good, which clearly, you know, they pushed in a lot of damage there and stopped me from attacking them back. But now they're down a card after these 4 turns. Just play the Dream Trawler and ruin my life. Or, no, play land Kioribus the Sea God. Wouldn't that be a way to go out here? Okay, I get it. Alright, they're going to attack, I assume. I'm going to... Actually, I could go for the block here. Go for the Infuriate. Ping this for 1, and if that doesn't work... I guess I should have done it pre-combat. Sure. Alright, I'm going to try it out. Nice. Still get +3/+2. This is instant too, so I can use it to trigger Mana Core. Come on, play a 1 toughness creature, please. Oh, I need to activate this. They must have stuff. Alright, I don't mind the 2/3 here. I do kind of want to wait on Anax before I go offer and trade, so I'm actually just going to pass. Ooh, Elspeth's Nightmare is an awesome draw. Keep a land in hand here. No, actually, I should probably play my lands because of this. Kill your dude. And I will attack if they have a Vexen Goal. Fine by me. Yeah, play my land. Pass. Activate this, and now we're really swinging here. We can kill one more big thing. They're casting that to presumably get around Elspeth's Nightmare. They haven't cast creatures those last couple turns, so they might just be loaded up on spells. This Duress might still be relevant. They could also just be looking for something to do here. Scry 2 to the bottom. Land. And if they have spells, they're just going to want to cast them. It's Ichthyomorphosis. Sure. Can't do too much about that. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, one with the stars. I mean, it's weird that this uncommon is like worse than the common version of the card that does the same thing. But I think we're looking pretty good here. We can kill their next 2 creatures. They forgot to scry. Exile in their graveyard might not matter. They just going to take another 4 here. We could exile our graveyard in response. All right. Exile your graveyard, please. I kind of want to run out this aspect and just 2-turn clock them. Right? If I go aspect here so that I still have damage, I can kill them in 2 turns. Is that worth it? They're going to get a scry, but they only get 1 potential draw here. I should have put it on this if that was going to be the game plan. Oh, I still could have. Whoops. Problem is if I do that and then they find a removal spell, I've got nothing going on, so play it a little bit safer. See if they remember to scry now. They do. They do remember. Xanthus remembers. This card's so sweet. It looks at so many cards. 2 to the bottom. I like that. Nyxborn Courser. Sure, so Irose's Blessing can go ahead and take that out. And I'm actually going to go Blessing on this again, so if they kill this, I still have some amount of damage on board. And I can actually deal a point of damage with the Mana Core if I just cast it on their turn. But they need something to kill my Mana Core right now anyway. Staggering Insight. We'll give them the nice. All right, cool. We were losing, and then we were winning. Maybe should have played a little bit different. That is why I don't like Heliod's Punishment very much. Flavor win, for sure. That card is awesome on Flavor, but I have to be super aggressive for me to want that deck. I guess, I mean, you've got Staggering Insight and stuff. If you're able to beat down and just outdraw your opponent in those 4 turns, it's still probably fine. Like, I would consider playing one in a normal deck, but if I thought my game plan was to try and, you know, go super late, I would probably just want another Dreadful Apathy or something. At any rate, again, I didn't think this was a 7-2 deck, but we get one more match, and win or loss, we're done. So let's see if we can Kroxa people out. Match number 9 coming up. Mountain was in my top 2 cards. I would be extremely tempted to keep it because it goes 2-drop into kill a thing or 4-2. Keep. Whoops, misclicked. Just kidding. All right, Mountain, pray for me. Pray for me. Fingers crossed. Pray for me. Pray from the future. Mountain off the top. No such luck. Mountain off the top. Mountain off the top. I'll take a swamp. I'll take a swamp. I will take a swamp. I'm not greedy. Mountain, 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 mountain. All right, well, this is why you mulligan hands like that. Let this be a lesson. I guess, ooh, Mardu. Opponent drew perfect mana. Come on. They probably didn't even pray from the future. Underworld Charger. Well, sure. Temple Thief. All right, we've had our fair share of luck this game. Unfortunately, it ran out. Command in Presence. I'm just going to chump block that, actually. Cannot win this game now. Oh, you're late. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Yep, Fateful End. All right, let's give him the GG. Actually, we could draw 2 more lands and Final Death that thing or something. Guess the game's not over yet. It probably is now, though. If I had drawn another land there and then into another land, I could potentially chump for a couple more turns. Guess we're still not dead. Can't ever win this game. Alright, you're up. You're up, opponent. Playing removal colors. Alright, kind of a sad way to go out. But hey, look, 8 mountains in the deck. I'm fine with it. You take those gambles sometimes. They work out sometimes, and you don't really think about them. You think about them super hard when they don't work out. I'm just going to block this thing. Take 1 billion. Opponent makes another 1/1. There is a world where if I had drawn a land last turn and a land this turn, I'd still be alive. Scophos Maze Warden. Oh, that dream is probably over. Let's see. This thing has first strike, right? These things can't block. So, unfortunately, these things, yeah, they can't block, so that's pretty bad, huh? I'll play Annex and pass. Give my opponent the illusion that I can win this game. I have to block this, though, don't I? Yep. Yeah, I have to block here. And I have to block here. I have to double chump. Oh, first strike. I messed up. I should have blocked the other way around. Doesn't matter. These things can't block. Hey, if these could block, again, we might be in it. We didn't draw the land anyway. All right, let's give him the GG for real this time. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Unfortunately, we got destroyed. But we got destroyed by our own hubris, if you really think about it. That is going to mean we wrap up at 6-3. A little bit sad, but it's okay. We kind of deserve that. Let's go ahead and open our packs here real quick. Our 2 premium booster packs that we are going to act like we care about. Storm's Wrath. Hey, that could have gotten me out of that situation. No, it wouldn't have if they had a 5/5. It's not the point. And Shaboom. Shatter the Sky. Oh, double board wipes. Nice. Shatter the Sky would have gotten us out of that. Okay, so our deck was sweet. We got to Kroxa a couple people out. Unfortunately, we never actually got to attack with Kroxa, and I think that's just how that card works out. If you're actually at the point where you're escaping it, your opponent's empty-handed, they're probably just already dead. I think our deck was really sweet. It was soft to graveyard hate, which we saw with that Timuret, but outside of that, it played very smoothly. The Rage Hounds did their trick. That one matchup where they niche and board us, like the Rage Hounds just came back. I must have cast a Rage Hound at least 5-6 times that game. It was pretty good. And I don't love red. I was missing, you know, the Forge and stuff like that. Maybe a couple more graveyard synergies and stuff. But I think the deck played out pretty nicely, and I'm happy with it. We got to get our gems back, even though we paid coins. Whatever. Fight me. That's going to go ahead and do it, though. We'll wrap it up here. My name's Timothy with Mana Rocks. I appreciate you hanging out here. There's tons of Magic content. So if for some reason you're 2 hours into this video listening to my voice, thanks for being here. I appreciate you.